Good evening. As you're coming on in, get comfortable. You can see this on the screen. I want you to work on this while everybody else is arriving. Hopefully you've had a pretty good week this week. Hi, good to see you. Hi, Michael. Go ahead and get started working on some of these questions. Answer those up while we wait for everybody to get into the classroom. So good to see everybody in person. So glad this whole thing is over with COVID-19. Okay, looks like everybody's here. So the task that you were to do was to share a skill you've been using in your own class that we learned from Foundations in Teaching. So thank you, Michelle, for sharing that you do a lot more interactions with the children and the emotions. You use more emotions. You're working on that. Some of you shared the time and place that you felt safe and secure. It was before the COVID-19 thing hit. Some of you shared when you were little at home, secure at your grandparents' house. Well, okay. The conference, those conferences that you attended that you're going to come back and share the topics with us tonight. Cool. I can't wait to hear about tier 1 and 2 and 3 and behavior modifications and art therapy. And sounds like somebody's going to do something on the formative assessments. That'll be awesome to put into our um, toolbox of learning. Okay. Thank you again for sharing. Now, what I'm going to let you know is the information that I want to share with you. I'm going to talk to you about the 7 powers of conscious adults. Now, what if I were to share with you that in this bag right here, I have 7 powers that will decrease discipline referrals, increase your academic achievement in your classrooms, and improve your overall school climate and culture? With me so far? This wonderful tool that helps us with those 7 powers is self-regulation. If you've heard of that, raise your hand, thumbs up. Self-regulation, okay. It's for ourselves and our students. So this was the training that I learned about, and I was able to go. Fortunately, Dr. Becky Bailey is here in Florida. She's in Central Florida, so it wasn't a long hike away, just over to Orlando. Um, and in this training focused a lot on self-regulation, but these 7 powers as well. So what does that mean to be self-regulated? For ourselves, can we manage our own thoughts, our feelings, and our actions? If so, this is a cornerstone for a successful life. We all want that. So again, got something in that bag that's going to help us with this. A little bit about Becky Bailey. She's an author. She's an educator. She's the creator of Conscious Discipline. And this is a company that's dedicated to creating positive, brain smart environments for children, families, schools, and businesses. She has served as a kindergarten teacher, academic coordinator, early childhood elementary education consultant to the Florida State Department of Education. And now her big passion in life, it's always been her desire, is to help parents and teachers understand about conscious discipline. Okay? Conscious discipline, which then means self-regulation, which is the 7 powers that you have inside you to do this self-regulation. How do you achieve it? How do we achieve it? If you remember this movie, this was from Bruce Almighty, when he had that power in his hands and he could get the water hydrant to come up, and he got a outfit out of the window, dress window, and did some other cool things. He had the power within him. It was God given at the in the movie. But I'm going to help you understand how to achieve self-regulation. When we do that within ourselves, then we can transfer it over to to our students that we work with, even if you're working with the little ones all the way up to high school level. Now, I understand there are 6 of you in here tonight. So what we're going to do, we're going to work a lot in groups. I'm going to have Jill and Michael is number 1. You're going to be group 1. Number 2 is Michelle and Laura. And number 3 is John and Kim. Okay? So the first thing I want to do, I know you probably want to see what in the world is in this bag. These 7 powers is what we're going to learn about tonight, and how that you can implement them through self-regulation. So the very first one is the power of perception. Okay? The second one is the power of unity. The third one, power of attention. Fourth one, the power of free will. The fifth one, power of acceptance. Sixth one, power of love. And the seventh one, power of intention. Now, I know it seems a little hokey, but believe me, Dr. Bailey has 30 years of research focusing on the brain development, the higher function of the brain, all these things that seem so unmeasurable. When they're in place, it changes everything. It creates that safe and secure environment for not only you to be, but for your students to learn. Okay, so our first activity, the group number 1, you are going to have perception, unity, and attention. I'm going to ask you to take these. I'm going to show you what we have on them. Okay, so this is the definition of the power of perception. No one can make you angry without your permission. Okay, so your first job, you can sneak a peek at the back. We're working with on the front right now. You're going to take power of unity. We're all in this together. And the power of perception and the power of attention. So, Jill and Michael, you're going to take these plates. You're going to go on over. You're going to get 5 minutes as a group, friends. And the first thing you're going to do in these 5 minutes, what I want you to do with these 3 plates, I want you to come up with a physical movement or emotion that represents this power. Something nonverbal that we could all do and imitate. Got it? Thumbs up? Okay. So Jill and Michael, take these. You can even walk outside if you need to with this. Okay. The next group, Michelle and Laura, you get 3 as well. I'm sorry, you get 4. Power of free will and the power of acceptance, 4 and 5. You get those 2. So the power of free will is the only person you can change is you. And the power of acceptance is the moment is as it is. So what again, same directives. I want you to take these 2. You only get 2. Now that Jill and Michael are out of the room, they have to do 3. You get 2. And John and Kim also get 2. Same thing. Come up with some physical movement or emotion that represents this. And you're going to take this out. Come back in 5. Now, Michael or John and Kim, you get the power of love, which is to choose to see the best in others, and the power of intention, which is mistakes or opportunities to learn. Okay, got these 2. Again, you can check out the back if you want. Those are the goals. So these are the big ideas. See you back in here in 5. Okay, thank you for being prompt and on time. So let's think about what these mean. Can you show me? Okay, let's start with Jill and Michael. Let's be creative. I know you 2 are the specials. Okay, what did you come up with as a sign for perception? Oh, very good. Perception is your vision. Okay, how about unity? Nice one, Michael. Unity together. Oh, I like the attention. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, so let's see if we can do that all together. Perception, unity, and attention. Don't Get those. Thank you guys for working so hard on that, Jill and Michael. All right, our next group, Michelle and Laura, what do you have? You had free will and acceptance. Let's see what you got with that. Free will? That's a good one. Acceptance. Oh, I love both of those. Awesome. Stand up, let's do those together. Free will, acceptance. I like them. Let's see if we remember the others. Perception, unity, and attention. So really clever with this. Okay, let's see what John and Kim have. So you both had the last two. Love, oh, easy enough. Love and intention. Those, okay? Everybody stand up. Let's do all these together, okay? Um, First ones, perception, unity, and attention. Free will and acceptance. Love and intention. Okay, so you guys are very on task with this physical movement. Okay, so thank you so much for coming up with that and demonstrating the movement that represents the power assigned to your group. Now, what I want you to do now is talk about how that will feel in your class. How does perception feel in your class? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Bill and Michael. How about unity and attention? Okay, has got that. Now, how about free will and acceptance? How does that look and feel and sound like in the class, Michelle and Laura? And John and Kim, your love and attention? Perfect. Thank you for sharing those. Now what I want you to do, take your plates again, and you're going to go, here you go. Thank you for keeping them together. So we've got 3 for group number 1. You're going to take these out, and on the back, if you notice, there are goals on here. So the goal of the power of perception, this is the big idea, is on the front. The goal on the back is to teach adults and children to take responsibility for our own upset. Okay, so I want you to go back out with your power 7. You get the first 1, 2, 3 power. You just take those out. You can actually, as you're getting ready to do them, power of perception, and then take responsibility for your own upset. I want you to go over each one of those with the action, and then on the back, the goal. So state the idea, the power, the idea, and the goal. So talk about that with each other. And again, think about ways that that's going to look like in your class. Okay? And come back in 7 minutes. Okay? All right. How did that feel for you guys working together and thinking about this? Did you come up with any ideas that, hey, maybe this just won't work in my room? You know, just feel a little hokey. Any roadblocks? Okay. And how will you use it in the room? How can you use this in your specials, in art or music? Okay. Because isn't it true that the goal that we all want is to decrease discipline referrals, increased academic achievement, and a nicer, kinder school climate and culture? When we can self-regulate, that's what we'll get. Did you know that the number one or the biggest problem with a child feeling unsafe, as we remember from class, when you don't feel safe, it's hard to learn, or when you're under stress, your brain goes downstairs, literally to the bottom. So we want to be able to create in our rooms this culture of community and learning where it's fun to learn and safe to learn. So now, come on back into class. Everybody's back. What we're going to do now, I want you to understand the importance of including these ideas and goals in your own daily life. And your classroom discipline plan, think about embedding them in there, and your room expectations. Because if we have the power, and you do have the power, perception, unity, attention, do it with me, free will, acceptance, love, and intention. Okay, so we got all those. What I'm going to have you do now, this is an independent work. You're going to take your paper and pencil, okay, and you're going to write down those 7 powers that you have within you right now for self-regulation. Time. Do the visual if you need to. Thank you. Now what I want you to do, hopefully you remember to put your name on this because that's how I'm going to make sure you understand and know. And then I want to tell you one of the coolest things that I'm going to do with you next week when you come back. I'm going to ask you how you use these in your class, and then I'm going to tell you about the 7 skills of discipline. So we've talked about, that must be Dr. Bailey's favorite number. So she's got 7 powers for conscious adults, which we talked about tonight, the 7 powers. And then next week, I'm going to talk to you about very much focused on discipline, the 7, let's see, 7 powers for conscious adults, the 7 skills of discipline. So again, I hope everybody learned a little bit tonight, learned that you already have within you those 7 powers, and you are self-regulating and the children feel safe in your environment and you feel safe, decrease behavior, increase learning, and love in your classroom and on campus. Thank you.